Anchoring in Pegal Bay proved to be a secure place to hide from some stiff westerlies. The added bonus was finding the anchor bar and rubbing shoulders with some of the locals. But as usual, after a few days, we were moving on to be strangers in the next town. Welcome back on board as we drift very slowly towards Stromness on a bloody awful Scottish day. This is now our 4th season sailing up in these wild, inhospitable northern latitudes where only the fearless and most intrepid dare to venture, owing to the widely accepted fact that the weather up here is awful. Cold, wet, dull, overcast and dreary all of the time. It's called a conspiracy, and we are now a part of it. So don't worry, Scotland. We won't tell a soul. Should we believe all that we're told? What happened to curiosity and being bold? How has it become an act of defiance if you dare to question or argue with science? It's like a religion, a new kind of church, but it ain't for me. I do my own research.
This is pretty incredible. I have just dropped the anchor for the first time. So cool.
The only time you're not going to get in trouble for dropping something. Well done. Lovely little spots here in Stromness. There are 2 anchorages left in here. This is one and the other is on the other side in front of the buildings. But we've just about squeezed ourselves in here, which is great. We thought we'd enjoy a little night at anchor here. We've got an exciting morning ahead of us. We are off to see the Ring of Brodgar, the standing stones, which Asher and I are quite fascinated with, so we're looking forward to seeing that. But it's a short trip, just through the fishing harbour, around the wall and into the marina.
It's a fairly small marina, but I think it looks well protected. And there are a couple of spaces here at the end of it.
We like places like this. We've said it before. The big flashy corporate marinas are lovely, they have their merits. But the little fishing harbour boatyard feel is beautiful. Orkney's World Heritage Site is comprised of 3 henges: the Ring of Stennis, the Ring of Brodgar and the Ring of Buchan. This is the Ring of Brodgar. This incredible henge and stone circle dates back to Neolithic times. Some people say that this was a symbolic area for the dead, while others believe it represents more unearthly bodies. Apparently, if you lay the constellation of Orion's belt on a map over the 3 sites here, they line up almost precisely. Too precisely for it to be a coincidence. But whatever you choose to believe, I guess that short of going back in time all the way to the year dot, whether this was in fact built for the dead or for life on other planets may remain a mystery. Personally, with so many mysteries surrounding this and other similar sites in the world, I favour the celestial theory. The idea of us being all alone in the vastness of space is more frightening to me than the concept of life on other planets. And after all, I think we're going to need some help to straighten things out down here. (4:25). We haven't been up this early for a while, Asher, have we?
No.
We have a little change of plan. We are leaving Stromness and we're actually going back to the mainland. We've got a battery charger that's causing a little bit of mischief. So we tried to order a new one and it's going to be several days, maybe 10 days or more, to make it from the mainland to here. So alternatively, we can go and get it from the mainland, because that's only 25 miles away. So that's what we've decided to do, because we don't have any weather to go north to the Faroe Islands. So we may as well take advantage of a very calm day and go back to Scrabster, where we can pick this thing up from. We had a short but sweet time here, and the Ring of Brodgar was most definitely worth a visit, whether we were honouring the dead or telephoning our brothers and sisters in Orion. It's pretty notorious, the sound of Hoy, where there's a big squeeze in the gap between the land and the tide rips through here, and it's an area with some pretty bad rosts or overfalls, and this is the time at the last of the ebb to go through apparently. But looking ahead, there are some nasty things on the horizon, so I wouldn't want to be here any other time, and I'm getting rained on by this boom. It doesn't matter how much experience you've got, every day is a school day out here. We read the pilot books that warned of dangerous rosts and overfalls, spoke to locals and left at the recommended time, and that ensured a safe exit through the Sound of Hoy. Once clear, we passed the Old Man of Hoy and had a mere 20 miles back to the mainland. Although unfortunately, one member of crew felt that the journey was so short there was no need for seasickness tablets, and that didn't work out very well at all. But as usual, she bounced back pretty quickly.
We had a rolly passage from the Orkney to Scrabster, but here we are. Beautiful sunny day. I've been feeling seasick and sorry for myself for the entire journey because I didn't take any of my seasickness tablets. But I've made it, and I even had a sausage sandwich, which Mark was very kind to make for both of us. Good morning! Thank you! Lovely locals.
The gorgeous sun trap of Scrabster was totally protected from the swell outside, and just across the road, a cafe serving full Scottish breakfast. Where else were we going to go?
Just having the one with the beans?
Beans is for me, please.
Perfect.
That is lovely.
So much.
Thank you very much.
Ketchup as well.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what we need after a long sea voyage.
Yes.
Painful, seasick 5 hours for some. That'll sort you out.
Yep. Lovely.
A deep water port since the time of the Vikings, Scrabster Harbour provides protection from the relentless sea that churns outside.
This is a frightening place to be. Just coming up for a look at the headland here, and there's these two big cracks in the earth like caverns leading down to the sea. And the last time we were in a crack in the earth, it was warm, cosy, safe and very inviting. But even getting close to this, it sends the adrenaline absolutely spiralling. I tell you what, walking away from here gives me the shivers. We don't want to get too close to that edge. Oh my goodness, what a place.
It's pretty incredible. The noise of the wave coming in is just like thunder.
You can feel it, can't you, smashing into the rocks and shaking all in a low frequency all through your body. It's a wild place.
To me, the sea is a confusing mistress. Quite often when I'm on her, I want to be off, and then when I'm off her, I want to be on. Such is the draw and the power of her mighty presence. Anyone who's watched our videos before will remember that there was one occasion when I was very sad and got nostalgic about can openers and how they don't make them like they used to, and we bought a very special can opener to do a very special job, which was opening Fray Bentos pies. Well, here we are in Scrabster, just round the corner from the town of Thurso, which happens to be a delight. And we walked into this little fishmonger's and found this beautiful old school supply of milk. And it just took me back again, very nostalgic, to my days of childhood. And I remember being at school and the teachers would say to us, if you walk past a house at the end of the day and the milk is out, then the owner might be in trouble because they haven't come out to get it. So knock on the door and check that they're okay. And suddenly all that came flooding back to me when I saw this. And I also remember how the birds used to peck into it. So my dad made a hinged flap that came down and the milkman would put the milk on there and close the flap. And the other thing I remember is how you open it. And this, I seem to remember, is a nice bit of thumb pressure. There you go. And off comes the cap. I am 6 years old again. That is awesome. Cheers.
Cheers!
Scrabster Harbour became home for almost a week. Owing to some electrical gremlins, not only did we have a new battery charger, but we also had 3 new batteries. Friendly locals, harbour staff and the people in the ferry inn made us feel very welcome. But we wanted to get to the Faroe Islands, and without anything in the long-range forecast, we decided to leave in the dead of night and poke Altor's nose into a stiff westerly. A westerly from Scrabster to the Faroe Islands means a long slog upwind. It's 3:30 in the morning. We've been going for 4.5 hours out of Scrabster through the short night, and now we're seeing the daylight appear, which is always lovely. And we're going in roughly the right direction. Our speed is up and down. Sometimes we're doing 3.5 knots when the waves knock the speed out of us. And other times when it blows over 20, we're doing 6.5 knots.
We are sailing to windward, so I'm working hard here on not giving up any windward grounds. So manipulating the course up and down, and woo! We just caught a wave over the bow and onto the windscreen, so thank God for the cockpit enclosure because I would be soaked here. The sea is very uncomfortable, the motion is up and down, and we are sailing to windward. So I'm doing my best to adjust the course, not to give up any windward grounds. Also sheeting in and sheeting out the main, whatever it takes to keep us on a good course for the Faroe Islands. Wow. We are just crossing the track which we made heading from Lervik to Stromness last year. What a different sail we had back then. It was a run, it was very comfortable, and we saw Aurora Borealis, so that was a nice sail. And now it's very different. We are beating hard. This is a challenging passage for sure, but there are a few things that take some of the pain away. Dry rope, cockpit enclosure, and seasickness tablets. Thank God for all of those.
Came up after my 4 hours off to find that Asher has been running the ship superbly. We have gained a fair bit of ground over to the west, which is nice, and speed has been good. It's not the most comfortable ride, things are falling around and there are a couple of big slams as we fall off the waves, but we don't have too much sail area up. Altor seems to be well balanced, so we are just going to keep trucking. Thank you very much indeed. You coming up or are you going down?
I will come up.
It's a precarious operation climbing up those ladders. Oh, sandwiches. Thank you very much.
It's great to make sandwiches before the passage, because in those conditions I wouldn't make any food whatsoever.
You only get rid of it down the sink.
Oh,
That was a big one.
yeah.
Fine. Altor of Down clawed her way relentlessly upwind for 200 miles, carving her own path as she did so, by day and by night. What a couple of roughy-tufty girls I have in my life.
Tuesday, 30th May. We're about 30 nautical miles away from Tvoroyri, maybe a little bit closer. We are having a feisty sail, but the wind direction is good. Southwesterly. We are looking at a waypoint just off the tip of Tvoroyri, where we're gonna bear away and sail along the most southern island.
Good morning.
Good morning, Captain.
I just think I heard you bearing away.
Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
I heard the of the winch.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, that is a very well earned bear away, isn't it?
Yeah.
200 miles of pretty tough, lumpy, hard on the wind sailing. And now Suduroy is in sight and we're bearing away up the coast. Well done.
Well done.
I love this small cruising world. The AIS target that is 10 miles ahead of us and turning into the same fjord that we will be heading into is our friends Catherine and Daniel on Polaris, who we first met last year in Kerrera and then again in the Crinan Canal, and then again we caught up with them in Largs. And we did say that we both had mutual plans to go to the Faroe Islands, and we had a feeling that we'd be having a wee dram together in the Faroe Islands, and it looks like it's going to happen in the very first fjord that we go into, which is very exciting. That one was certainly a challenging one, and what a difference it is going upwind compared to going downwind. But once in a while you need to experience that opposite to make you realise how sweet it is when the wind is behind you. It felt like a great achievement. I was proud of Asher and proud of Altor. The Faroe Islands gave us one more challenge on the way in, katabatic winds of 40 knots on the nose. But the best achievements are those that you work hardest for. And if we're honest, most of us enjoy a little bit of a spanking. Don't we? The last stretch into the Faroe Islands is such a joy for us. This incredible archipelago of 18 islands that jut up so dramatically from the North Atlantic Ocean is one hell of a sight for sore eyes. And it was awesome to be back again. Cheers, my love.
Cheers, my lover.
Welcome back to the Faroe Islands.
Same to you.
A tough sail, but a successful one. Cheers. Thank you very much for joining us on our feisty journey back to the Faroe Islands. Altor out.
Pointed and rolling, my captain.
Make it sound like you're responding to an order. Which it wasn't an order, but I'm very pleased that you took it as such. That's a good seaman right there. Sea person. I don't know what the right thing to say is.
Sea pussy.
Okay, whatever.